Hello everyone from the Big Shave. Michael Friedberg here again with another shave video. Today I've got a couple products I'd like to talk about. Two of them are new to me. One of them is an old favorite returning to the fold. I'm going to go ahead and wet my face. My brush is already soaking. I'm going to be talking about a pre-shave oil that I received for my 50th birthday, which was a few weeks ago. Thanks you all for the happy birthday wishes. I'll talk about the brush that I got as well and about the razor that I'm using. So let me go get my face wet. I'm going to go ahead and apply this, which I received for my birthday. It's one of two gifts I got, Floid pre-shave oil, which I believe you can also use as a regular shave oil. I have never tried that. It says to use 10 drops, which doesn't look like much when you put it out, but basically what I've done, I've used this a number of times already, really quite like it. It has a pretty strong smell of cloves and eucalyptus, tea tree. It's got some other ingredients in there. It has a nice warming effect actually, which seems to last throughout. I know there have been some reviews of some of the other pre-shave oils that are supposed to be heating, which apparently don't seem to last too well. I think that was Dorian King maybe. And this is not designed to heat, but it definitely feels warm on the skin. Work that in a little bit. It's my first pre-shave oil. Never used one before. Really curious about people's shave of the day feedback on the Big Shave, and a lot of people reference their pre-shave oil, so I thought, hey, might as well give this a try, and I like the Floid products. This seems like a pretty good fit. Good smell, definitely rich in the cloves there. So, I'm going to pour out the water from my soap dish. I'm going to lather with my new Semogue 1250 wooden handle boar brush, which I'm loving. This brush is fantastic. It is soft. It has good backbone. It only smelled a little bit funky for the first couple days. It has been breaking in quite nicely. I've used it every day since I got it on my birthday. It's only been a couple weeks. It's been drying out pretty well every day. I haven't tried to somehow skip a day. So far so good. Seems to be blooming, which I think looks right based on other people's pictures. It was pretty tight when I got it, obviously, but that looks like that's opening up the way that it should. Queen Charlotte tangerine soap, still working through that. So let me get that lathered up. I'm glad to see that for Zachary Roth that maybe now he has finally managed to conquer his Queen Charlotte soap with the Wee Scott. Nothing better than seeing a lather plan come to fruition. Frustrating when it just doesn't work. And you know that others are getting it to lather, and you should be able to as well. There's really no reason. There's no, no unlatherable soap. Oh wait, there was that one cream incident, which I and Dorian King were unable to get lathered. But okay. Now I'm not really bowl lathering. I'm just loading the brush. But this brush while loading, is creating a lot of lather inside the apothecary mug, which doesn't normally happen. So, wet my face a little bit. Got my lather going. If you're wondering about the state of my hair, yes, I'm growing it out. I'm going to see how long it gets by the end of the year. I have a suspicion that if I let it go another 10 weeks, it's going to be big. Insert your own joke here. Alright, for Zachary Roth, there you go. There's your Queen Charlotte soap lather. Pretty easy, pretty quick. This brush is amazing, by the way. pass number 1. The razor I'm using today is the first DE razor I bought. It's a Merkur 23C, also confusingly listed as the Merkur 180. It is a 3-piece razor, nice long handle, pretty good burling. I guess in the scheme of things, this is a pretty mild razor. Of course, not much for me to go on in that regard. But I have put it down for quite a while because, 1, I was trying some other razors, and 2, what I found was that I would cut myself with this razor every time I used a feather. It didn't matter how careful I was. I used this for the 13 days PIF I won on the Badger and Blade. Which included, and since I worked through them alphabetically, the Boschkod blade was the last one I used, and that's where I discovered that. And that worked great in this razor, and that's what I'm shaving with today. It's a brand new Boschkod blade. Shaving oil definitely makes a difference. You can feel just a bit extra layer of lubrication. I don't think it's dramatic, but really every little bit helps. I will also say that based on Sven's feedback and his luck, I went and shaved 5 days straight with the Boschkod, which I would normally not do. 5th shave was great until the 3rd pass. Starting to get tuggy. Figure I usually get 3. I got 5 out of that blade. Really good. Latest crops of shave videos, by the way, have been fantastic. When I hear a title like "There Will Be Blood," I'm assuming it's satirical or ironical. I didn't realize that was going to be quite such a statement of fact. Okay, first pass done. Dust and gullies have been pretty good as well. Really enjoying those. I just watched Sven's first Norwegian product placement one for the Norwegian Shave Shop. That's pretty good, getting people introduced to more traditional shaving techniques. Nice set of products to take a look at. Alright. Pass number 2. Hope everyone is doing great out there, by the way. Enjoying your shaves, having a good time every day. I've discovered that there are some more people at work that have their own secret shave club, but they've been outed. Yeah, razor definitely very mild. You know, this is not an aggressive razor. For those of you who watched previous video where I used a Norwegian word which I suspected was naughty, and I used it a bunch of times, it wasn't naughty at all. Very disappointed. I was so convinced I was being set up big time. But I'm lucky. Big Shave members always come through. I have another one today. Thank you, Sven. Apparently this word, on the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is you can say it in front of little children without fear, 10, devil himself would blush to hear you say it. This apparently ranks as an 8 everywhere in the world, except it ranks at 2 in the north of Norway, where it's used with literally wild abandon. The word is heiskuk. Apparently it's a pretty naughty word. It's not the kind of word that you use in a sentence like, today I just had this delicious heiskuk sandwich. No. It's the kind of word you yell at people when they cut you off in their car or they play loud music super loud late at night. It's also not the kind of word you apparently say to Norwegian colleagues at work when you don't realize they're listening. Lesson learned. Okay, pass number 3. As you can see, ladder's still going great. At least I hope you can see that. You can still feel a bit of the shave oil on there. You can see how much lather is still in this brush. I did not load this for very long. I will say this is a very different feel than the Badger, I must say. In those kind of strokes, it feels, only word I can really use is put a paintbrushy or painterly. It's very soft. You can see how that's forming, kind of a, a congealed tip, as it were. But the lather is fantastic. Big fan of this brush. I really like the wooden handle. Really like the wooden handle. Also asked a colleague about how to pronounce the name of the brush because I've heard it pronounced Semogue. I've also heard somebody say Semogue or something like that, Semogue. And apparently it's pronounced Semogue. Semogue. Which, if you want to sound all smarty pants, next time you refer to your brush, you just say, I have one of those delightful Semogue brushes from Portugal. Don't you? Come on. I have to say, for the price, those brushes are a real bargain. I'm sure I'll come back to my Badger a number of times, but right now, it's all about that boar. Okay, right there is where, tiny nick there, Adam's apple. That doesn't happen often, but every now and then. I can definitely understand why at this point you would want to use the pre-shave oil. I'm doing one more pass underneath. Definitely need one more underneath them. Definitely very mild in that regard. I could see for that touch-up pass trying to use that shave oil and see what you get. Yep, there we go. As the Italians would say, basta così. Finished. There we go. All right, apologies for the water. Quick cold water rinse. All right. Well, Floid pre-shave oil must therefore, by the laws of shaving, at least as I understand them, must be followed by the Floid aftershave. It's not even an option to think about something else. As much as I love the spike, and I do love the spike, today we're going to go for the Floid. Ta-da! All right. Little splash. And for those of you that may remember, I mentioned in a previous video how I had actually only ever had one real cut. That was with the super speed. That was just me being careless. Still a bit of a scar from that one, actually. I remember just what happened. Just went right in. Simple touch. 1 second. Poof. Done. Completely just being careless. And that's going to happen. So that's it for the shave, guys. I did want to say, by the way, I've noticed, I'm kind of curious as to what people are doing. I know that when I'm done, I'm going to disassemble this. I'm going to rinse the head and the base and the stem. I'm going to rinse off the blade gently, and I'll dry and reassemble. I've definitely seen people go one way or another where they're really not cleaning in between. For me, I clean the razor and the blade every time before I put it away. That's just what I'm doing. Other than that, once again, highly recommend these brushes. People have been raving about them on the boards, and for good reason. Semogue, a delightful and wonderful brush, highly recommended. I really like the fact that this is sort of the natural color. I don't want to get one that looks like it's a fake badger, that kind of stuff. I understand why people do that. I like the fact that this is the natural color, set in the wood handle. Again, these brushes, awesome. Pre-shave oil. I'm liking this. I'm using this every day. It does make the shave go a little bit easier. I think it does add a bit of lubrication to your skin. It seems to last at least through the first 2 passes, maybe a bit into the third. I'm going to try this again for some touch-ups, and I might try that in a separate video. I'd also love to know if people could try an experiment who are on the fence about the shave oil, and that is apply it to one half of your face. Lather up normally, and see if you can really feel a difference one side to the other. And as one final note, you may have noticed that despite that pre-shave oil, it did not break down or thin out the lather. This does not seem to have any kind of real impact on the lather. Lather is still voluminous, still slick, stays on the face, doesn't break down, doesn't fall. So, recommended, guys. Nice product. That's it from me. Hope everyone's doing great. As always, hang in there, guys. Hope all's going well. Keep your shaves nice and smooth. Stay calm, deep breaths. And see you guys next time. Bye-bye.